So my question for you is, we talk a lot about ACT in terms of helping the individuals that we work with, but in terms of supervision for staff and feedback for staff, do you see a utility of using ACT to develop supervision goals or to develop instructor strengths who are working with clients and the people that we're helping?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, think about how scary it is to go to a supervisor who is a very, very tight taskmaster, and how unlikely you are to approach them asking for help. Think about how difficult it would be to have been faced with a challenging situation in the home where a family member, say, as an example, a parent says to you that they're uncomfortable with the other RBT that comes to their house because they're transitioning, and this parent really doesn't want their child to be dealt with by somebody who is transitioning. And you responded to that parent in the way that you did, but you're not sure if that was an ethical way to respond to the parent. You're not sure if that's the way that your supervisor would want you to handle that. And if your previous experiences with your supervisor is that your supervisor is a very nuts and bolts, very concrete, very hard task manager, what's your probability of going to your supervisor and saying, hey, I need help. I don't know if I handled this correctly. I might have really screwed it up. I don't know. What do you think? What's your probability? I would guess. Yeah, you can tell me whatever you want to tell me. Well, go ahead. What's your probability of going to your supervisor who's, really hard and concrete and nuts and bolts and a hard taskmaster?
Quite low.
Quite low, right? I mean, I think that all of us feel like, oh man, I'm too scared because they could put me on a fast track to demotion. So I think if you set up your supervisory relationship in a very different way, with humility at the core and with a willingness to be a partner, a fellow traveler, someone who makes mistakes and gets stuck, and who has also developed the tools to recognize, oh, I'm stuck. Better unstuck myself or get some help doing it. Then you'll be far more successful, far more approachable. Your company. But here's the thing. Think about it in terms of short-term and long-term reinforcers. The short-term reinforcers for acting like God, very high. The short-term reinforcers for acting like I may not know how to help you, but I'm going to try, are much lower. But the long-term reinforcers for taking that approach are much greater. Because long-term reinforcers are going to come as more and more people come to you and ask you for help. More and more people trust you, and more people are willing to talk about difficult situations. Your company gains a competitive advantage because more and more people in your company are talking about ethical concerns and problems in the workplace and are coming up with solutions that work in their context. That provides your company with a substantial competitive advantage in the long term because you're doing something that's really important. You're advancing the humanity of your workplace.
I mean, just like Trevor, I honestly really appreciate the thoughtfulness of your responses. It's really great. Thank you.